So we'll discuss about the evolutionary theory of the state, origin of the state. Well, it has been universally accepted valid theory of the origin of the state. That is that evolutionary theory or the historical evolutionary theory. This theory uh, advocates the view that the state has been a growth. It has grown over a period of time, and it has not been made. Garner says that the state is neither the handiwork of God, has not created it, not a result of superior physical force that some king has made it, not the creation of a resolution people got together and they resolved to create it, a contract, and not a mere expansion of the family. It is the product of natural, gradual, slow, and imperceptible process of social evolution. People realize when they got together that they have started living in a state. Chattel states that like other social institutions, the state arose from many sources and under various conditions and emerged imperceptibly. It has come out naturally, a gradual process. There are quite a few factors which are responsible, which we can attribute towards the strength which is given to this theory, that is the evolutionary theory with regard to origin of the state. First is natural human social instinct. You know that man is a social animal. It's because of this his nature that is compelled by its necessity to live in their society. Aristotle has observed that the state come into existence for the sake of life and continues to exist for the sake of good life. It is because of this human social instinct, which is natural in every person to live together, that it is emerged in the form of a state. Next is the kinship and the family. Now, the social relationship are based on blood relationship, and out of which emerges a family, and the broader form is a clan or a tribe. And such tribes are headed by the family and some tribe. As the size increases, they are forced to live in a different type of a fixed territory and govern their own affair. And emerges the state. The territory and the governance of that particular area becomes the requirement of the people living together. So this is how it has graduated into a state, so from a family to a clan to a state. This is a religion. Religion is another factor which has contributed towards the evolution of the state. Common religion came to be a symbol of kinship, that is, living together. People started worshipping natural features and phenomena. This was with the view to please the helping gods and to limit the scope of activities of evil forces. As a result, the head of the family he started using religion as an additional force to secure obedience of the people towards his authority and his order, and this contributed towards the emergence of the state as an institution. The next factor which contributed towards the growth of the state is the wars and the conflict. Now, force as a factor has also played a major part in the emergence of the state. This is when the tribal wars necessitated the unity of the tribes under leaders, uh, they came together and emerged a leader. This leader was successful in controlling all of them, proclaimed himself to be the king of the tribe, and the people accepted him as such. So it is said that the war, war begat the king, means it has some truth in this. Then the economic factor. That the social relations are always has an economic angle, which compels a man to live in the society. Properties particularly has played this role. And the institution of property in different forms created situation where people started living together, being capable of protecting life, property, social relations. So as a result of the property, came together and led to the emergence. Next factor is the political consciousness and the need for political power. This has been accepted by all the political scientists uh, that there is the importance of political consciousness in the emergence of the state. Gilchrist says, underlying all elements in state formation, including kinship and religion, political consciousness, that is the supreme element. Also, because of ever-growing complexities of social relations, the need for the protection as well as the security and order in that fixed group, the state came into existence. Now, the need for security against enemies and external wars also contributed towards the evolution of the state. And to check internal disorders and disturbances contributed towards the growth of the state. This all has happened because of the political consciousness which became among the people. Uh, Now we'll see as to main stages in the evolution of the state. As we see that the state has been a result of gradual and slow evolutionary and continuous process, there are certain factors which have contributed uh, in this, and there are certain stages which have come in the evolution of the state. First is the tribal state, which is called as also the Oriental Empire. When roaming tribes settled down in regions which had rich natural resources like the water, etc., or as a result of the conquest and enslavement of the weaker tribes, they established their empire. This is what is known to the history more that because of the tribal wars and the force that they came into existence. These tribes were ruled by the hereditary monarchs, and there was no such thing as any individual enjoying any liberty or right as we see today. Came in city states. It was about 3,000 years back. It happened in ancient Greece, where the community, which was called as a small city state, began to exercise all type of powers such like political, economic, intellectual, and moral control over all other people because it was accepted as a necessity and as all-inclusive institution which was required for the development of the individual that they accepted it. The Roman Empire. This happened close to the first century BC. The Greek system of government came to be replaced by the World Roman Empire. It was a centralized administrative control which held the entire empire together. And those former cities, which we have seen earlier, got redivided into provinces under the two councils. These Roman people controlled it and became all powerful. And but when it got disintegrated, several states came into existence. The birth of a feudal and political feudalism or the feudal state. After the disintegration, uh, whosoever was in a position to control became the supreme lord, and he became the tenant in chief of the entire land, and he further distributed towards to the tenants and subtenants. This is how the feudal system started, and which emerged into a political federalism and started exercising all type of control. Then the church versus the state. The fall of Roman Empire, there was a lot of confusion and unrest and the life of the people. And as a result, the church established itself as a potent authority. When this powerful church was in a position to step in into and and Pope even asserted its supremacy over the temporal kings. This is how uh, this led to the emergence of the conflict. Then the medieval, we can say safely that the medieval age remained infested with conflicts between the state and the church, and it is only with the coming in of the Renaissance, which was followed by the Reformation, that the medieval age got replaced by the modern age, and the universalism of medieval age got replaced by the birth of nationalism and the nation state. or